Well, hello, and welcome back to another Guillotines and Fades. Today, I wanted to go ahead and make this video. I was going to just stick to the Jesse Jackson funeral, his transition, but I want to go ahead and also discuss, just why our progress as the American Negro is stagnant. Why we are in a place where our politicians are not moving and doing the things they need to do for the community, and also that we're also being compromised by immigrants within the political realm. I have absolutely no idea why you as a person, even if you're an anchor baby, generational immigrant, you were born here, why would you not take the skills you have developed here in this country and take them back home to make your countries a better place by either working within the business industry or working within the political spectrum? So I'm confused to why y'all even want to come over here. But this is what the video is about today, guys. This is what the video is about today. It's about showing you why that progress is hindered. Why we have politicians out here, pretty much, dropping the ball. Like a Westmore in Maryland, vetoing. And although it would have been another study, but it's still the principality of the situation. Okay? You don't veto bills like that. You don't do it. Then we want to talk about the Jim Clyburn, who is damn near 95 years old, running for re-election. Be careful, because he's trying to put his daughter, nepotism, into his spot also. So there's a lot of things we have to watch out now, especially with the midterms coming up. And especially how we always sit here and think that, some people say we can't vote our way out of this. Some people say vote for the Green Party, but I don't care what party you vote for. All I know is if this politician is coming by your door and hanging adverts on your door, they're coming into your churches, trying to persuade you into certain things. I'm gonna need y'all to understand, if they are accepting this money from this organization, you need to cut them off. And if you want to still have a conversation with them, because I feel as if once you take the money from this organization, your hands are dirty. There's no coming back from this, because at this point in the game, you know what this organization is. The type of schemes that they run, and I'm going to show you guys. I have examples of how they move. When it comes to our political, our politicians that are really trying to help us as American Negroes. But let's go ahead and dive into the funeral of Jesse Jackson. As stated before, we did have a couple of politicians that came there. Looks like we had Joe Biden, we had Kamala Harris, we had Barack Obama, and then we had Jamal Bryant, which I have no idea. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the video. First video we do have Jesse Jackson's son specifically saying, don't bring your politics to his dad's funeral. Like he's out here saying, like, look, I know y'all got bills to pay. We know y'all got we know y'all got bills to pay, and we know y'all got AIPAC contracts you have to fulfill. But this is a funeral. Let's not do this here. So let's let the video roll.
Do not bring your politics out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived to these homegoing services. Right. Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these homegoing services are welcome to all. Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American. We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived.
And you know what? And I 100% respect him for coming out and saying that. He is right. We're gonna dive deep into a couple of videos about Jesse Jackson. As all our political, people within our community, advocates, whatever. Nobody's perfect, but I still give them respect for the sacrifices that they made, whatever it may be, to be a part of our community, and still did some good things, did some things to redeem themselves, in my opinion. So let's just go ahead and dive deep into Jesse Jackson and just who he was. Well, I'm not really going to say who he was, because he was a very prominent American Negro, also indigenous American. As I found out some information about him. Like I said before, we got some good and we got some bad with Jesse Jackson, but he has transitioned. He has moved on to the other realms. So we're going to sit here and we're going to respect him in this aspect. But I still got some stuff, still got some controversy to talk about. But as stated before, he had a very vibrant career. He really, to really be honest with you, and I'm gonna keep it really real with you. The biggest gripe that I do have with Jesse Jackson, I have a gripe with Martin Luther King. I have a gripe with Malcolm X also, but nothing in the sense to be very disrespectful. These are men in their time. They were in their lanes doing their own things, and of course, eventually, they redeemed themselves in some sort of manner. My biggest issue was the Rainbow Push Coalition, was the designation of calling us the African American instead of just Negro, or the 12 other names we've been reassigned to as the American Negro. So that is my biggest gripe that I do have with Jesse Jackson in regards to his political career. But the one thing I can say about Jesse Jackson is that I don't know how much AIPAC money he take. We're just going to sit here and say, thank you for your services, sir. Thank you for your services, sir. He has some big sort of events that he's did back in the day, that brought other cultures and countries together. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about Jesse Jackson, because like I said, he just transitioned. As his son said, we're going to respect him in his time, regardless of what your observations are. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to say thank you for being a part of, our life, Jesse Jackson. As I stated before, we do got some folks out there that got some different opinions in regards to Jesse Jackson. Hosea Williams, he got a couple of things to say, and and in this time period, a lot of folks be like, well, he's just lying. It's a conspiracy theory. I mean, at this point in time, everything's on the table now. So, go check that out with Hosea Williams and see what he has to say about, Jesse Jackson. I wanted to just come across an article that was in North Carolina in regards to the debate over the name Black or African American. So see, even back here, this had to be like the 1970s, 60s, 70s, or 80s, where we were already having a conversation about that name and that designation. And how, I know at the time, as me being a 100% thoroughbred American Negro, I know for a fact we didn't want that moniker. We didn't want to have any of that. We just wanted to be called Black. That's it. No funny business. Of course, you have your tribal, names and labels that you go by, but other than that, Black. That's it. So even back then, even as now, as we're doing in regards to disaggregating the data and trying to get the census information, the OMB that happened, we are making strides trying to get this thing rolling where we are our own separate category and group. It's going to happen, as everything happens with the American Negro. And so here we go. Here's it seems to be a what is it? A news segment, maybe by Jet Magazine, in regards to the opinion of the ethnic name. Do you prefer to be known by? So this has been a conversation that's been going on within our community for a long time. And I find it hilarious that now we are disaggregating, de-alienating, and we're finding all these pieces of information that show that we've always had a pushback against that name. Our designation has been changed several times. If you go look at the history and the books and the roles, Dawes roles and everything like that. So, we as a people, we've already been in a place where we've been trying to say, okay, this is our name. We don't prefer this African American. And that's my gripe with Jesse Jackson. But like I said before, you know, um, I appreciate him doing it, because now we're in a place where now everything's documented and recorded. We sat here for the past 10, 15, 20, 30 years, try to do the African American name, and we're good. It's good. It's good. Me personally, I absolutely love calling myself the American Negro. If you have not had the chance to go to the EJI, Equal Justice Initiative, a museum down in Montgomery, Alabama, I highly suggest you get on down there. Because once you go down there, you walk the walk that I did for an hour and 45 minutes straight. I counted about 10,000 steps. Yeah, you go ahead and walk that. You will absolutely love to call yourself the American Negro, and you will see how much power this name holds. So go do your research, guys. But let's keep on moving. So let's get on to the grifters, the charlatans, the political garbage that we have here. So you have Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and the optical mulatto, Barack Obama. So, of course, they went on up into Jesse Jackson's funeral, as y'all saw, as we all showed you with his son. We just showed you that his son said, don't bring none of that political theater inside this man's transition. And what do these salacious, sap-sucking bastards do? They brought it right on in now.
We are living in a time when it can be hard to hope. Each day we're told by those in high office to fear each other and to turn on each other, and that some Americans count more than others, and that some don't even count at all. Everywhere we see greed and bigotry being celebrated, and bullying and mockery masquerading as strength. We see science and expertise denigrated, while ignorance and dishonesty and cruelty and corruption are reaping untold rewards. Every single day we see that, and it's hard to hope. But this man, Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson, inspires us to take a harder path. His voice calls on each of us to be heralds of change, to be messengers of hope, to step forward and say, send me. Wherever we have a chance to make an impact, whether it's in our school, or our workplaces, or our neighborhoods, or our cities. Not for fame, not for glory, or because success is guaranteed, but because it gives our life purpose.
They brought it right on in there. And y'all know, with this optical mulatto right here, Barack Obama to the American Negro community is like Chinese food. I'm starting to believe there's some sort of spell. Maybe it's his words, his looks. Maybe they did some sort of chanting on him. I don't know. Maybe some sort of Kenyan chanting on him. But like him and that Chinese food with the American, we're going to have to work on that. But it's okay. I got a nice Asian video coming on down the pipeline for all you guys. Don't worry. Don't even worry. But unit came off into this man's transition and made about government and schools. Like, why are you even talking about that? And see, and I don't care how long his speech was and what did he do. This is not the place nor time to do any of this, sir. But see, like I said before, when you're taking AIPAC money, you were a complete Trojan horse for the American Negro community. You reversed so many legislative laws and things that we had going. Like some of the data and some of the articles I've read about what happened under this man's presidency, just for us. Like, I ain't even talking about all the bombs he dropped and everything like that. Like, him and Joe Biden has literally deported more people than Trump has did. Like, they did an analysis, like, the first year or whatever. Like, Joe Biden, Barack Obama don't got nothing on Trump. Nothing at all. So it's just absolutely horrible to see this happening here. But like I said before, when you are a Boule, okay, you are part of the Congressional Boule. Yeah, you got to come out here. You got to do stuff like this. You know, I mean, was Michelle there? Did y'all even see the first lady? Y'all ain't see her there because she tired. She tired as hell. She's tired. Okay, and we ain't forget about that chef, Diane. We ain't forget about that chef. Hmm. That's a whole other guillotines and face. But let's keep on moving on. This is here Jesse Jackson going clean in about Barack Obama.
And I went down to black people on those faith days. Barack, I went down to black people.
Well, the Reverend made those remarks there during a break. He was being interviewed on the Fox News channel. Jackson says he didn't realize his microphone was still on. Today, he was in full damage control.
And this is what I say about Jesse Jackson redeeming himself. Now, I know he didn't want to get caught on the hot mic, but it is still good to see that he did have this state of mind. Now, I remember when this came out, they was like, he's hating on him. He's a hater. Jesse Jackson's a hater. They said he don't want no black man to progress. He don't want this black man to progress. Oh. And now look at him. Now everybody's waking up to who Barack Obama is, who this Trojan horse is, like what he was really on, what he was really about. Because look at that man. Look at his track record. Stop looking at the optical mulatto. That's why I call him the optical mulatto, because his opticals blind y'all so much. It's like it just snatches your eyeballs out. And you can't do nothing but just look at him. But stop. I know he's charismatic and all that, but just stop and just go look at his track record. Please, that's all I'm asking. Okay? All right. Now, Joe Biden.
If I told you all earlier, when I was a kid, I had a cleft palate or club foot, none of you would have laughed. But it's okay to laugh at stuttering. I'm not being critical of you, but think about it. It's the one place where people think you're stupid. Oh, really? I'm a hell of a lot smarter than most of you. But all kidding aside.
Okay, now y'all know I had a whole thread that Twitter purposely suppressed. Yes. Yo, I was a heavy hitter on Twitter before they got my other account. But it's all good though. It's all good. Had a whole tweet just detailing this man's decline. I called it LWs because he should not have been on the campaign trail like that. But this man right here is just he's just a hot mess, guys. And I don't know why they still bringing this robot out here to make like this man's still alive. But anyways, it's clearly speculation. Clearly. But we got some receipts in the catacombs into why, Jesse Jackson Jr., his son, Jesse Jackson's son said, don't bring your politics here because y'all a bunch of see, I gotta change up my whole speech because I'm trying not to cuss. Y'all just a whole bunch of grifters and charlatans, to the point where if y'all was gonna come in and talk about that, you shouldn't have came to the funeral in the first place. But Joe Biden once referred to Jesse Jackson as that boy in Unearthed Report. Now, as I told you with my other tweet that was highly suppressed, I had audio that showed, closed room audio with Joe Biden talking about Delaware was a good state for a good slave state. We were good to our slaves. Yeah, you could probably find it, if you go search for it, but it's out there. He has a lot of hot mics. Okay. So, this is just one thing where they're saying like, hey, come in here, say what you have to say, respect Jesse Jackson in his transition. Okay. Talk about his lifestyle and how great he was. Don't bring none of that into the catacombs of his transition. Don't do it. But they did it. They did it anyway. Now this old alcoholic here.
Let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now. I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming. But what I did not predict is that we would not have Jesse Jackson with us right now to help us get through this. And this afternoon has been such a beautiful remembrance of his spirit, his life, and his faith. And in a way that Reverend Al talked about it and so many others have, I do think of this afternoon as what it is doing for me to renew my faith in what is possible, fueled by the hope that Jesse Jackson so often reminded us of.
Oh, I can tell alcoholic. I can tell alcoholic. Yeah. Yeah, I can tell alcoholic. And now here she go talking about, here she go on this, if I would have won, things would be different. Ma'am, no, it would not. No, it would not. Okay? No, it would not. Y'all just in here bringing the politics into the arena. It's disgusting because they all were given scripts. Your president was given scripts. Your vice president, sister girl, yes. In the showroom, Tim's. Yeah, they were all given scripts. And they read them to the T. At a man's funeral, they transitioned. Where his son specifically told y'all, don't bring that off in here. But I'm going to show y'all why they had to do it. I'm going to show y'all exactly who told him to go out there and do that. Now y'all know, I couldn't find, no controversy in regards to Kamala and Jesse Jackson, nothing like that. By the time she was coming up in the ranks, Jesse Jackson, he hospice setting, ain't nothing gonna come out from that. But I, as an American Negro that grew up eating collard greens that I did not clean in a tub, okay, I just want to remind y'all who your sister girl really is, okay? And I'm just letting you know, as an American Negro woman, okay, I ain't have no granddaddy that looked like that. Not near one of my grandmamas had a dot in the middle of her head. These dresses they wearing, I didn't wear none of those. We ain't have none of that. And I surely didn't grow up eating their cuisines. So I just want to let y'all know. Because some of y'all out here, whether it's the DNC checks still clearing, or you guys you just don't know. That is an Indian woman. That woman is an Indian. She eats Indian food. She grew up in Indian customs. She is, now, the word on the street is cosplayer, but see, here at Guillotines and Fades, I call them skinwalkers. Because, see, a cosplayer just gonna put on an outfit, go over to Japan like these international vagabonds, y'all Africans and Caribbeans. Oh, and I got a video coming out of the pipeline for you too. Y'all go over here to Japan and you be acting like you're an American Negro, black American man. That's a cosplayer. But see, when you're over here taking over political spots, drawing up legislation to lock us out, and so many other aspects of society that's a whole nother video. You're a skinwalker. Okay? She's a skinwalker. She's an Indian woman. She's not an American Negro. Remember that come midterms and election. Both federal elections and local, guys. I need us to get on it. Now, this is a ultimate level of coonery here. Jamal Bryant seems his little target was target. What was it? Boycott. Was happening. That's his shtick. He's also some sort of pastor. Just gonna use that loosely. But he was here at the funeral also. Obviously doing his charlatan grifter route. Seems that his little target escapade is coming to an end. I think he said he's gonna drop it. How you gonna drop boycotting? How you gonna stop saying you're gonna stop boycotting something? Wait. See, you these charlatans, man. I'm confused. So you mean to tell me that you, sir, you're gonna stop boycotting, not the company itself righting its wrongs, and then we're gonna boycott? So you just like, you know what, guys? I'm kind of tired of that. You know, my passion, I don't have no more passion for it. So I'm just gonna step back. I'm just gonna step back. We're gonna end it there. Y'all can go ahead and go at the Target and start spending money. This is top tier charlatan status. This is top tier grifting, guys. You gotta come on, man. You guys, we gotta stop letting these people. I don't know, but between Barack Obama, the Asian, the Chinese Asian food, and now it's gonna be the charlatans and the grifters in the American Negro community. Guys, we gotta work on that, because I don't know. I don't understand how y'all out here. Look in his eyes. Start looking into these people. When somebody's coming to you about money and trying to get you to do something, look into their eyeballs, okay, and see what you can see, because these are charlatans, clear as day, guys. But I'm diving off into a whole nother another tangent. Let's keep on going. Oh, this is the controversy that Pastor Jamal T. Bryant, I think it's it, and his wife, did recently. They had some sort of gala, some sort of ball. I don't know what these people are doing. And this is the dress you wore. And, oh my God, I got so many aspects to talk about in the Black American, because it's like the church too. Like the church has a spell on us too. Because like, what is this? Now in the church that I grew up with, in the time period of churching that I was a part of, that's blasphemy. Okay, no, him and his wife are no longer allowed into the church. They got to go. But I guess everything's about a profit now. Profit. Go look at Greenleaf. Yeah, go watch that TV show, Greenleaf. Awesome show. Awesome show. Great writing to a certain aspect. But go on and watch that show, and you'll get a kind of a gist of what's going on with these churches. I guess everything's for a profit. I guess they want to get a ruse, a rile out of people. She wore this dress. This is the church now. This is why nobody ain't showing up. This is why y'all out here doing theatrics like this to get people to come to the church. And what type of theatrics is this? Why y'all ain't out here building some houses and helping people get off their feet? But you know what? That's a whole nother video. Because I don't be dealing with celebrity charlatan gossip like this. Moving on. All right, but let's go ahead and listen to some folks here that actually looked at the funeral and just felt disrespected by the politicians that came out here.
When I tell you that I wanted to vomit when I looked at Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral, I really literally thought that it was going to be a joyous occasion. I thought they were going to remember and list down everything that this man had achieved, all his legacies, the trials and tribulations that he went through. No, instead, these delusional, sorry, stinking bastard Democrats made it about them. I can't believe you all disrespected that damn man's funeral like that. And I'm not going to shut my mouth up any longer, because that was so messed up what you all did. The family couldn't even grieve, but they basically told you bastards not to make it political, and you did it anyway. Y'all did not care about the family. Y'all didn't care about Jesse. Y'all didn't care about nothing. Y'all stomped on that man's time. That was his homegoing, and y'all made it about trying to push a political...
Like DNC, the politicians that were there against some heat. A lot of newspaper articles coming out of the pipeline in regards to pretty much that was effed up. Y'all shouldn't have did that. It's a funeral, not the campaign trail. Yeah, sis says she can't believe it. She says she can't believe it. And I can believe it. I can't believe it. With the current political world that we have going on right now, we had the war situation, we had the illegal immigrant situation, we had the fraud that's going on, which all that fraud up there in Minnesota, that's all up on the Democrats' belt. So it's like, I completely understand, them having to come out here, especially when them checks coming out of the pipeline, and y'all done cashed them checks, and they coming to collect now. You guys to go out there and do it. So I completely understand where sister's coming from. It's one of these things where it's like, now guys, we really got to stop talking about, the shoes they got on, or the HBCU, or the D9 that they're with, or, this person has endorsed them. They've been on down to Jim Clyburn's Fish Fry and accomplished nothing at all. We really got to stop looking at these politicians, because the reason why our progress is being hindered in the political realm is because we have people out here showboating and filling up spots where we need to have real advocacy going on. So we got to start waking up, guys. Perfect segue into what we're going into next and what the other half of the video is about. And I am going to just go into detail of what the AIPAC is. We really have to understand that if you are out here and you're dealing with a politician, even on a local level, I will link the website in the description for you guys, so you can be well aware of who is being endorsed, up and coming candidates is currently in Congress right now. If they are accepting this money, nothing is going to get done. If you have a politician that has accepted this money from AIPAC, nothing is going to get done. They do not have your best interest in mind. And that's why I'm like, right now, with all these data centers popping up, bills and electricity getting high, you see what's going on with this Iran war. They thought these crazy folks thought they was about to go over here and fight this war over the weekend, and it was going to be okay. And it's 15 days now, 13, 14, 15 days. Nah, man, y'all, we got to wake up, because we can't vote ourselves out of this if we don't got people in there that we can depend on and vote for. So we got to start getting on this. Just some key pointers to what an AIPAC is. They do affect electoral spending. Unconditional support with the military, which is going on right now. Like I said before, I live near a military installation. There is a young military couple that's over here, and I thought it was real strange that there was a bunch of cars over there and they was having a deployment party. It seems like they're about to get deployed, so here we go. And I'm trying to figure out deployed to where, because if you've been looking at the war, they bombed all those military bases over there. So where are y'all going? Hey, go check out my other video, Guillotines and Fades. Go check it out, because if you got people in the military right now and they really want to get out, they need to start looking at ways to do it. Because I'm telling y'all right now, I know for a fact, being on this military installation, that Kuwait is just a name that I just know, because I don't know how it is with military bases, but it seems like this one here, they constantly have folks like going into that region. So it's like, it's a lot of uncertainty around here. It's a lot of like when I see these soldiers, man, they never looked happy in the first place, but they looking a bit desperate now. So man, if you got folks in the military, like, man, really go talk to them. Tell them like, look, there's outs to this. It may not be what you want, but you really got to choose right now. Do you want to choose death, or do you want to choose life right now? Because I'm telling y'all right now, go watch my other videos, man. These people are not playing. They're waiting on you. They're waiting on you. These people have drones. Going down another tangent. Boom. AIPAC. Let's go to the next video. All right, so we got Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman here talking about AIPAC and how AIPAC pretty much annihilated their seats and took their seats from them because of the money. Check it out.
He said, just trust your president. And I said, no.
My stomach sinks because Cori is talking to the president this way.
It's not okay that my fundraising power is connected to the power that I have on the inside of Congress.
Why aren't the American people being served? Why can't we raise the minimum wage? Why can't we get childcare, affordable housing? It's because most of the members of Congress are listening to special interests. They're not listening to the people.
I got a message from someone in the community. AIPAC said to tell you that they know you're not going to change your stance. They just want you to be silent.
They are very strategic and very unapologetic. Any bill that supports Israel unequivocally, they vote on that. Even if it's a bill that completely marginalizes and dehumanizes Palestinians, when we talk about the corruption of our politics and of our government, this is exactly what we're talking about.
Were we more dangerous inside of Congress or are we more dangerous outside of country?
A link in this description for you guys for their little podcast that they have going on. I definitely respect them taking the time to lend their voice, after they were taken out of Congress, because a lot of folks, in their shoes, sometimes they'll just go ahead and just fall on back into the fray. It's just like, I want the paycheck. I want that good life, and some people just don't have the fight in them to really go ahead and just fight for what's right. So I respect them. I'll link the podcast in the description for you guys. But yeah, definitely go check that out. But yeah, like they said before, they're vicious. These people got they had unlimited money because their kingdom is being destroyed right now as we speak. These people spent a lot of money to get Jamal Bowman up out of his seat. $14.5 million bid to defeat a critic of Israel, and he was very, very vocal about Palestine and what was going on at that time. And they spent $14.5 million to get him up out of there. That's AIPAC. That's all. Like, you got a politician taking their money, and don't let them be a politician taking their money and they're getting blackmailed. Oh, Lord have mercy. Might as well just go ahead and give that one up. Yet again, we got Cori Bush here. AIPAC spent $9 million to get her up. $9 million to get her up out of her seat. Like, this is what they do. This is the power play at hand. This is why you need to go follow that website, AIPAC Tracker, as soon as possible, if you're very serious about your community getting better and getting better representation. Because as you guys can see, nobody is coming to save us. We are on our own. We are all we got. So it's time for us to get about the slumber that we're in and start focusing on what we need to do. Because we can't vote it out. We definitely can't. We can't vote our way out of this, but we can put some people in there that can definitely make some changes so that we can vote our way out. So track AIPAC, just a little synopsis here of them and what they're doing. And they're pretty much just any politician, whether they're up and coming or whether they're currently in Congress, they're tracking the flow of money. I don't know if they're doing it once they leave Congress. I'll do another deep dive into that. But if they're actively in there or coming up, they're tracking you. And I'm so thankful for it. Because I did the due diligence for you guys to go in here and pull up all the American Negro / Caribbean immigrant / Afro Latino members up in here. Because the Afro Latinos, y'all, we on you. We on you, skinwalkers. We're on you. We're on you. We're coming. Yeah. Put them in there too. So I'll show that list towards the end of the video. But anyways, it's just not us. It's just not Cori Bush. It's just not Jamal Bowman. It's just not our community. It's being affected by AIPAC. So we have, looks like a senator here, Matt Gaetz, revealed that at his AIPAC reception, he was forced to wear a name badge with a QR code so donors could scan it if they liked him and instantly sent him money. He's basically meat on a QR code. Meat on a QR code. Okay? That's what these people are. And I think he had some controversy, but see, at this point in time, I don't know who's who among the criminality of this world, because they could have put all that on him and just faked it. Because what happened to him, I'm not really too sure. But here's him talking about being a piece of meat on a QR code.
Initially, I resented the fact that there was no appreciation for nuance. Like, if you asked any questions about any decision of the Israeli government in any place regarding settlements, regarding Gaza, whatever, you were like, you had deviated from the script. And I just, in any policy area, I had resentment over that. And then I saw the way the AIPAC worked, and that was weird for like a country lawyer like me. I remember my first AIPAC reception, and like your fundraiser tells you have to go, and your chief of staff tells you have to go, your committee chairman all tell you have to go, and you get there and you wear this name badge, and I remember there's a QR code on it. And what we were supposed to do was go talk to donors, and then if they liked you, they scanned your QR code to make a donation, like on the spot. And so can you just imagine how demoralizing that is to like be told that your job for the next several hours to go chat people up, hoping they would scan you like a can of tomato soup on the way out of the meeting.
I mean, it's literally purchasing.
Right. And so I saw that and I was like, wow, that is so freaking weird. And then, I was in Israel. I went multiple times, and I did not like the fact that I found someone in my room rooting around in my stuff that should not have been there at the King David Hotel when I came back to my room when no one was expecting me to be back in my room. And I just
presumably Israeli law enforcement.
Well, I don't know who it was. I just thought, like, this is weird. All of these things combined are odd, and then the policy outgrowth seems to be an obsession about the Middle East that has not served my generation well. I just don't.
He came back in the room and there was somebody in there going through his stuff. I bet it was. I bet it was one of those agents. Yeah. I bet it was. That's why I'm like, gang stalking does exist. Gang stalking is something that does exist. This is why I'm like, when you get into certain realms of certain types of jobs, even just me sitting here talking to you guys like this, you have to be prepared and ready for certain things in life, which I am prepared and ready for these certain things. But gang stalking does exist, so there probably was other things this dude experienced, assault, Corey Bush, Jamal Bowman, that really just made them like, don't even want to talk about it. It spooked them pretty much. So this is a serious thing. This is why I'm like, this whole thing that's happening with Iran, if you guys are following it, they're very strategic in who they're targeting, what they're doing. Like, I know for a fact when the war popped off, my T-Mobile service went out for like 24 hours. They was messing with some lines over there. Then I tried to get on Amazon to get some stuff. Amazon was being real slow and being glitchy. So they're affecting certain aspects of life. You just got to open your eyes and see it. But this is how it is. We got another, looks like another congressman here, Thomas Massey, talks about how all senators and congressmen have an AIPAC babysitter. They got an AIPAC guy to ensure they vote in the interest of Israel at all times. They're out there. And if you're getting checks from these people, they don't want you worried about nothing else but Israel. Yeah, this is where we're at right now, guys.
They're not registered.
Is there any other Republican who has your views on this?
Well, I have Republicans who come to me on the floor and say, I wish I could vote with you today. Yours is the right vote, but I would just take too much flack back home. And I have Republicans who come to me and say, that's wrong what AIPAC is doing to you. Let me talk to my AIPAC person. By the way, everybody but me has an AIPAC person.
What does that mean, an AIPAC person?
It's like your babysitter, your AIPAC babysitter, who is always talking to you for AIPAC. They're probably a constituent in your district, but they are, firmly embedded in AIPAC. And
every member has something like this?
I don't know how it works on the Democrat side, but that's how it works on the Republican side. And when they come to DC, you go have lunch with them, and they've got your cell number, and you have conversations with them. So I've had
that's absolutely crazy.
I've had 4 members of Congress say, "I'll talk to my AIPAC person," and it's literally what we call them, my AIPAC guy.
I find it hilarious that, Tucker was like, I don't have an AIPAC guy. Tucker, there's rumor, speculation that you're the CIA, sir. So you need to go ahead and pull that back. Pull that layer on back, sir. We can see it. But that is another explanation of what it is to have an AIPAC guy. To have a person here doing this thing where they're paying these politicians this money. And they're telling your politicians like, hey, look, we don't care what's happening in your district. You got this check. You belong to us now. And don't let you be involved in a honeypot blackmail. It's just over. It's just completely over with you. We have to understand a lot of these politicians out here, if it's not the AIPAC money, it's the blackmailing. It is what it is. This is where we're at in life. All right. Well, we're going to end it here. I am going to scroll through these AIPAC politicians. These, like as I stated before, these are all American Negro. These are all immigrant, Caribbean, I think they're African immigrants, and Afro-Latinos that are in Congress right now or up and coming that has currently taken AIPAC money. Now, it is about 25 images I'm going to scroll through. And out of those images, only about 4, Miss Summer Lee, Bonnie Watson Coleman, Ayanna Pressley, the only ones that has not taken any AIPAC money. Now, I kind of find it hard to believe that Ayanna Pressley hasn't taken any, but she may have did something on some other ends. I just don't. But she's still a part there. She's still a part of the squad. She's still deep off in there. Just can't trust them, especially if they've been elevated by the DNC. But they're saying she didn't take none. I'm gonna go by their numbers. This is what we're gonna say. This is what we're gonna believe. But out of those, Miss Ayanna Pressley, Andre Carson, Latifah Simon, that is the only people that have not taken AIPAC money as of 2026. The rest of these images I'll scroll through, they all took the money. They all took the money. And I pray that you as an American Negro start to wake up, become political and vocal, locally and federally, when it comes to who your representatives are. Because if you want true advocacy, we ain't gonna be able to get it if they take an AIPAC money.
I listened for several hours of 3 United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson. He maintained a tense relationship with the political order, not because the presidents were white or black, but the demands of our message, the demands of speaking for the least of these, those who were disinherited, the damned, the dispossessed, the disrespected, demanded not Democratic or Republican solutions, but demanded a consistent, prophetic voice that at no point in time ever sold us out as a people,